literature. So we will be learning about picture books and different kinds of books suited for ages. So here, I will have first a game, or it's not actually a game, but see how you are so alert. Okay, so I will be giving additional points or whatever price I can give to the first 5 participant or student here in class who can open their camera and bring me something. Okay. So you unmute yourself and you say, here. Okay? So you unmute yourself and you show the things that I will ask to bring. So I will only have one question and I will honor the first 5. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yes.
Yes, bro.
Yeah. So, pabilisan, makapagdala. Okay, the first 5 to bring me, nawala. Skip ko lang muna. I will stop screen sharing. I will check what I have here. Baka magkamali. Okay. Yeah. Naka-ready pala. Okay, I will share again. Naka-ready na pala siya. Yeah, share again. Naka-share. Okay. Can you see my screen now?
Yes
Yes,
po.
po.
Yes po.
Yes, po.
I revealed already. Okay. So, children and youth literature. So, here's the strategies. Children and young adult literature is rich and diverse, spanning multiple formats and genre. Increase your knowledge and understanding of the literature and discover strategies to evaluate and promote. Engages students. Ano ba to? I-hide ko muna yung notif. Engages students in reading. So, according to this, we can use different strategies and different forms and formats of books as well as types to increase the child and the young adults' interest for reading. So with this, if we want our students to enjoy reading, we should give them books that are attention getting. So with that, given that situation, the first 5 students who can bring me a picture book or picture books will have a plus or a prize, whatever I can give. You can open your cam and then you show me the object that I'm looking for. Anyone? Then I will tell if that is accepted or not because we have different definition of a picture book. The first 5
Ma'am,
to bring me a picture book.
ano mo bang sasabihin?
Yeah?
Ma'am, I have one.
Here. You can say
Ma'am,
here.
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 Oh, you open your cam. You open your cam. Okay, I will, can I stop screen sharing first so I can see your faces? Oh, yeah. What is that? I will see if it's a picture book. If not a picture book, not counted. Can you open the pages? Christopher, open the pages. Does it have
Paano ba?
pages? Does it have picture book? Pictures? Okay. I will tell if it is a picture book or not. Okay. In your case, you try again. It's not a picture book.
Ma'am, here.
Oh, Raisa.
Ma'am, here.
Raisa, Macy. Can you focus, Raisa? Is that Raisa?
Sa mga picture book dito.
Yes,
Laika, open your cam.
Ma'am, ito po.
Ma'am, it's open na po.
You open Raisa and Raisa first, followed by Rizalin. Rizalin. Can you open?
Wala na akong picture book. Hirap talaga pag hindi na bata.
Let me show it first.
Yeah, let's see. Focus, Laika. I will pin your, Laika, open and focus. I will check if it is a picture book. Okay, does it have text or purely picture?
Ma'am, I have here purely pictures also. Wait, anak, wait.
Okay, may I see?
Naagaw po ng anak ko.
Okay, so that one is good. Okay, the first one is it Laika? Showing
Yes,
a picture?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, Laika. The first one is Laika. Next, recently, can I see your picture book?
Ma'am, ito po.
Can you open the pages?
Ito, ma'am.
Okay, another one.
Ito po.
Are you enjoying yourselves? Okay, okay. Okay. Do you have other books with lesser text? Try again.
Ma'am, this is Anaya kay.
Rose. Let's try Rose.
Ma'am, here.
May I see if it has text? Rose first.
Yes, ma'am. Konti lang.
Okay, turn the page next. Turn the page
Turn the page,
next.
baby. Turn the page.
You're enjoying with your kids.
Here, ma'am. Here. The
So
next
less
page.
picture, more picture, less text.
Yes,
Okay, I
ma'am.
will consider that less text because picture books are having less text. So we have the second winner. Next, last
Thank
three.
you, ma'am.
Sharing niya po.
Lovely. How about you? You wanna show your picture book? Oh, you have your own. May I see? With less text.
Yes po.
Probably I would accept if the lines of the text are 1 or 2-liner only. If it is more than 2 lines, it's not a picture book. How many lines do you have there? Okay, so on that page, it is a picture book if there's no text. Okay, we have the third winner. Last two. Okay, lovely Rose, you're the third winner. Next, last two. Others, have you surrendered already? Brian, you look for a book. Oh, let's see the chat box. How about their reaction? Coloring books for Abigail. Juvian, yeah, you raise your hand. May I see your book? Hello? Have you surrendered already? Textbooks ang tambak. Hala.
Ma'am,
Do you
ito.
have kids at
Pa.
home?
Patry
Open
po
your
ulit.
cam. Juvia, Rizalin,
Ma'am, ito
followed by
ganito po.
Juvia. Coloring book? Okay.
May question naman, ma'am.
The rule is a picture book has
Okay.
only a single liner, or I would accept 2-liner text. Juvian, let's try.
Kita na po, ma'am?
Hello, Juvian. Open your, oh yeah. Okay, you turn on the pages. Yeah, that's an example of picture books for beginning kids. Yeah, correct. You have the fourth winner. Juvian is the fourth winner. Sabi sa chat box, you only have, Christopher, you have pocket books, Wattpad, and scary stories. So you're not included in the children's literature books. Last one, last one. The game is not yet over. Hello? Others?
Ma'am, patry po ulit.
Oh, Rizalyn, last try. You have lots of books there.
Maraming mga book dito. Mga ganito, ma'am. Ganito,
Oh, let's see. Yeah. Turn the page. Oh, the instruction is there. Oh, activity book. You try again.
Ma'am, patry din. Ano, ang dami ko book. Activity book pala.
Others?
Nakita ko yun. Nakakatuwa.
Others? Who wanna try more? Yung
Ito
iba
pala,
hindi
activity.
nagtatry.
Ma'am, ito po ba?
Oh, Raisa, may I see your cam?
Oh, ganun.
Open your cam.
Open natin.
Yeah. You open. Hindi lang nakafocus kay Raisa. Iayusin ko lang yung ating layout. Okay, naka-sidebar ako. Sige, I will have the spotlight. Hello, Raisa? Once again, Raisa?
Yes, ma'am. Picture book.
You open the cam. I cannot see the cam. Is your cam open or closed?
To coloring book.
Okay, hindi ko makita yung ano ni Raisa. Wait. Ipipin ko lang. Okay.
May coloring book yan. Lugo nga pa kita itong coloring.
Hello?
Bakit?
Ate?
Open nga, Raisa. Cam, naka-open ba?
Naka-open din.
Naka-open na po yung Raisa.
Yan. Okay, wait. Pin. Hindi ko makita kasi nagpo-pop out yung mga ibang naka-open. Wait. I will click tiled para kita ko. Yeah. Raisa, may I see again? Paki-focus. And then, turn off the audio of the other account. Nag-echo. Yeah. Thank you. Open. Ipipin ko lang si Raisa sa aking screen. Yeah. Yeah, correct. You're the 5th winner, so that's the picture book. Correct. So, come again, who are the 5 winners of this activity? Raisa, who else? Is it Laika? Yeah, correct. You raise your hand if you're the first 5. Lovely. Yeah, first 5. Lovely, Rose, Jubian, Laika, Raisa. So I will just give your prize or your plus, whatever I can give, and congratulations for that. So see, you have enjoyed, you got panic, and then you look for a book. So it's an advantage if you have children at home. So you thank your sisters, brothers, and your kids. So now we will continue with our okay, I'll see what I can give the prize. And then I will continue screen sharing. So I will PM you later about the prize after the class. Okay, can you still hear me? I'm sharing my screen now.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So we have here examples of reading aloud. So this is a strategy on how you can encourage children to read, especially in literary stories. So reading aloud to children and teenagers stimulates interest, imagination, and language, and exposes them to the joys of reading. Finding and choosing a read aloud that you and your students will enjoy is crucial. So here are a few tips and resources. So we have here different forms of reading materials or types. So have you read aloud to your children or to your siblings? Have you experienced reading aloud? So what do you mean by reading aloud? There are pile of students or kids, and then you go in front or at the center, and then you hold a book and you read them stories wherein they could listen to you, and you could act, or you could get their interest either by changing your voice, change having the cadence on how you read, and so on. So you must be energetic since children are the audience. So here, picture books. Learn what makes a good picture book and how to use them to engage students with reading. So especially, who are those starting or enjoying picture books? Can you give me names of or ages wherein picture books are being enjoyed? You can unmute yourselves, and then I cannot see your names on the screen. Maglalagin lang ako ulit sa on my another account para makita ko yung inyong muka. When I'm sharing screen, the setting of Google Meet, yung screen lang na sinishare ang nakikita. Unlike Zoom, pwede mo makita yung mga functions. So, yeah, I can see already. Who wants to answer? What are those sample ages wherein you kids enjoy picture books or love doing picture books, reading? Okay, Isgera, you raise your hand?
3 years old po, ma'am.
Oh yeah, it could be those who are starting to read because they do not know how to read. Actually, they have books but they don't know how to read. That's why the first comprehension that they have is understanding what the picture is all about. So that's the first step on how you would teach your kids or your siblings how to read, to understand what the picture is all about. And then, let's have this continuation. According to literary agent Tracy Marchini, a successful picture book has the following 9 factors. So, what would be the indicators? Illustrations that are engaging. So the first one is illustrations. So the main ingredient of a picture book is, of course, the use of pictures or illustrations. Strong characters that are identifiable and evoke emotion. So the characters are pronounced or obvious. You know that is the character. That is the main character. Then the other one is an antagonist, and so on. Then humor, of course. Actually, class, when you say humor, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's funny, but it has a positive impact. It can make the mood positively, or it could turn a child to be happy. So a story that teaches a concept of value, of course, it should be values integrated. So who among, or who would be an author or an illustrator that could bring sadness or negativity to a child? Of course, mostly or all of the times, doing or presenting picture books for kids, or it should be teaching moral or the value. It must teach good things to the child. Elements of pattern, rhyme, and repetition. So for those single or double-worded picture books. Interesting plot that captures the attention of the reader. Rich vocabulary, readability. So those are the examples. We also have the wordless picture books. So ito talaga yung kanina na mostly na na-honor sa Bring Me activity natin, because the essence of picture books is to emphasize on pictures. So here, wordless picture books rely on illustration alone to tell a story. They are wonderful resource that allows children to tell the story in their own words. So probably if a child has pictures on the book, no text at all, the child could have different interpretations of the story because it depends upon his imagination on how he could react or how he could make the flow of the story. So children read the pictures, look at the details, follow patterns and sequences, explore characterization, work out what is going on, and bring their own language to their own version of the story. So that is what I'm telling about. So even though we only have one story or one book, if you will ask your siblings or your child to interpret it, they could have different interpretation. For example, your panganay has a different interpretation with your pangalawa and your bunso because it depends on how he perceived the picture or they perceive the picture. Then, early chapter books. So we will now have the chapter books. So iba na siya. Another example na. We talk about chapter books. So these are young fiction, help young readers transition from picture books to fiction. So unti-unti na siyang nagkakaroon ng lines or mga binabasa. This stage of reading can span a number of years and a range of reading needs from eager young readers to struggling older readers. So for example, your child is a beginning reader, you can introduce the child stories with fewer texts and with pictures as well, but then with fewer text. So it could be for beginning readers. And also, early chapter books can also be given to those struggling readers, even though they are older than the natural age. They could be older, but then if you want them to teach, to be taught on how to read, then they find it difficult to read, you can give them early chapter books suited for children. So here are the examples. Okay, so you just refer to the pictures. Early chapter books help young readers transition from picture books to fiction. So that's what I'm telling about. And what are those? Early chapter books are simple, short, illustrated fiction. They are written and designed to help newly independent readers. So it builds the reading stamina and mileage, strengthen their confidence in book selection, develop a sense of themselves as readers. So you can give this to independent readers as well, even struggling young and independent readers. So basically it has pictures and it has text, but not so long, simple, short, illustrated fiction. And then, to continue, early chapter books foster reading enthusiasm and momentum when stories that capture student interest. So here are some of the examples. It could be about 30 to 60 pages, word count from 1,000 to 10,000 words, for example. Aussie Nibbles have 1,000 words. Aussie Bites, about 5,000 words. Aussie Chomps, about 10,000 words. So the number of words vary. Easier vocabulary, word repetitions, or shorter sentences, and it's about 5 to 10 words. Then sympathetic line breaks and sentences that finish at the end of the page. So, dun sa isang page, in that particular page, dun din natatapos yung sentence. So, it means that it's not too long. It can be easily understood and be read by readers. Plenty of white spaces between lines, paragraphs, and chapters. Larger font and varied and informal fonts. Supportive illustrations, sketches, or cartoons breaking up the text. So that's the characteristic of early chapter books. Then, other names for early chapter books, what are those? Publishers and libraries have various terms to differentiate early chapter books from regular children's fiction. So some of the examples, or what are the other terms for early chapter books? Who wants to give the different other terms for early chapter books? You can unmute yourselves or raise your hand. So let's have the recitation as projected on your screen. What are the example of early chapter books? Or other terms?
Young fiction.
Yeah, you can give all.
First steps. Beginner books. Junior fiction.
Yeah, thank you so much. So that's the term or the examples. Other terms are more general, aiming to avoid potentially embarrassing older students reading at this level. So what are those other terms? Suited for older age, but still in the early chapter books. Okay, Kosiko, Brian, you raise your hand.
We have
Can you
quick
give
reads, fast fiction, just right books, and quick picks.
Okay, thank you so much. So those are the other terms for them. Why? They have variation in terms. So that is for older children not to feel. Yeah, Judy Ann, you raise your hand. You want to add up? Yes? So to continue, the term change because older children might feel embarrassed if they were given young fiction, first steps, beginner books, and junior fiction. So they would turn to be embarrassed. So the tendency is for others to call it differently, even though it's still an early chapter book. So other would say it's a quick read, a fast fiction, just write books, and quick picks. So the term changed just to suit to the age of the learners. Then we also have sophisticated picture books. What are those sophisticated picture books? It with words and pictures to tell a story, making them highly effective at engaging students with reading. So visual and literary features provide subtle subtext and require readers to draw on existing knowledge. So subtle subtext, text with other text, but still with visuals or illustrations. So what are those? Sophisticated picture books are aimed to older readers and have many levels of meaning or multiple narratives. So for older children, some sophisticated picture books such as Constance the Arrival rely on visuals only to convey their story and are categorized as wordless picture books. But then, sophisticated picture books also might. So there are, as we go on with the definition, even though there are wordless picture books, this could also be suited for older children. Probably those older children are struggling readers as well. They may deal with realistic global issues, for example, climate change or refugees, explore the complexity of values, traditions, emotions, and relationships, develop non-traditional structures, just like the plot, the characters, and settings, to challenge the reader's expectations, challenge the reader to go beyond the story, and challenge and engage the reader to form meaning. So in this case, class, even though there were wordless picture books suited for adults or for older readers, the topic or the theme or the tema is more serious than those for kids, for beginning kids. Just like this one, salient issues about life, about nature, and about happenings. So that is what we call sophisticated picture books. Then, using visual features or text, they use illustrations to portray information not provided by the text. Use Complex artwork and varied design layouts use rich creative text and literary devices such as metaphor, symbolism, or satire. Make intertextual references requiring readers to make connections to other books or knowledge to enhance understanding of the book. So class, sophisticated picture books, okay, provide a more serious topic as what I have said, and also it's using literary elements suited for older children. Imagine already using metaphor, symbolism, or satire, or other forms of figures of speech, and so on. So the illustration is a bit complex, and the text also provides what they call to this. The illustration is beyond the wordings in the text or in the book. So the pictures are more rich, more creative, and more likely to be true. So now we have here the different advantages why sophisticated picture books are being given. Use of the picture book is a valid literary form throughout schooling and beyond. So probably it's used in schooling already. And a short format makes it easier to grasp concepts in shorter time frame, being less threatening for English language students or reluctant readers since the images give contextual clues. So the picture should be related to the text. A personal viewpoint developing empathy and critical reflection. Ideal for discussion and exploring global historical and values and personal issues. So more of thematic, as what I'm saying a while ago. And layers of meaning so they can use in mixed class groups and across different levels. And of course, sophisticated picture books are fun. So it means it's not just a picture book, but it discusses salient features about a specific theme or topic. So now, the fourth from our list is the book for tweens. So what do you mean by TWEENS, tweens? Capturing the imagination of your tween readers ages 9 to 12 years requires a broad range of genres and formats, fiction and non-fiction, with plenty of series, fiction, humor, and mystery, and even so on. So tween readers, TWEEN, are those 9 to 12 years old. So let's continue. What are the tweens' interests in reading? So here, tweens don't want to read or to be seen to be reading anything that seems too young, but some may not be ready for the sophisticated and challenging themes of teenage titles. So they are before the period of being teenagers. So they are called tweens. Keep this balance in mind when developing your school library or class library collection. So what does it mean, class? Tweens are those ayaw na sobrang pambata ang binabasa, but then they are in the middle. Ayaw din naman nila na they are reading serious topics. Just like yung mga light lang, yung mga light. So those are what we called as the suited books or the interest of those tweens in between teenager and between child. Next. So here are the examples of books for tweens. Research by Stroman and mates found that fostering a love of reading means making age and interest appropriate books. So ito yun, class. What's the purpose why we are studying children and adolescent literature? For you, if you're a teacher already, to find age and interest appropriate. So you won't give a child or an adolescent or a student a book which is not suited for their age, and of course not suited for or not their interests. So we must understand that principle. It should be age and interest appropriate. Scholastics reading books or Scholastics Reads and Family Reading Reports show that kids' favorite books are ones they get to choose themselves. So it means that the child with that age, 9 to 12, must choose the kind of books they wanted. The 2015 version of the report showed that 9 to 11-year-olds are keen to have books with a mystery or problem to solve, while 12 to 14 years old want books with smart, strong, and brave characters. So when we give books, it is also good if we consider surveys or studies about their interest. Then we have books for tweens. Examples. Here are the samples: comics and magazines. By far the most popular reading materials for this age. Comics often have a movie tie-in that's also appealing to these readers. Series fiction, easy, enjoyable, and accessible. Consistency in plot, character approaches, or genre make for a familiar and comfortable reading experience. Then we have nonfiction. So you can consult your students for their particular interest. Be prepared to buy appropriate titles which are aimed to older readers. For example, students who are interested in science may love a title like The Elements by Theodore Gray, although not specifically aimed at this age group, is written in accessible and humorous style. So another, they could also like horror, suspense, supernatural. So great for total immersion in another world or reality, often with heroes who defeat their foes against the odds. Humor. So actually, do not be confused if you found humor with an O and humor with a U. I think I have discussed this in this class, the difference between the two. If it's just a humor, Humor, it's American English. And that's the one accepted in the academe if you are following American English. But then with the U, Humor, it's the British English, because we have two variations, the British English and the American English. So every time you will see words with a U before an O, it's British English. And if it's O alone, it's American. The same as centralize with the C and the S. The Z1 is American English and the S1 is the British English. So there are lots of differences. Then we have here humor, going back. Listeners may comment that books tend to get more serious as readers get older. Am I right? So books get more serious topic as the child gets older. However, students still want books that make them laugh, of course. And mystery, equally enjoyed by boys and girls, so it's unisex, both for them. And now, for your assignment, you can do the screenshot of this one. So you look for these authors, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You look for these authors, and if you can get sample cover pages of the books they have created, so I want you to present on the next meeting. So that would be your assignment. You look for the sample picture books of the following authors. You can do the screenshot of the book cover and the title. And then let's have the sharing next meeting. So now, yeah, that's the end of the slide. Before we proceed with your featured story presentation today, time check, it's 4:31. So I want you to summarize or to give me, let's have a recapitulation. What are the 4 topics or the type of books we have discussed today? You can unmute yourselves. I will go back with our meet so I can see you. Oh, you can raise your hand. Yes, Juvianne. What are those 4? You can give those 4, or you can only give one so others could still give. Yeah?
It's picture books. It has wordless. It is a wordless picture books, ma'am. And then,
Correct. Thank you so
ilan
much.
po ba?
You want to add more?
We also discuss about chapter books that has fewer text, simple, short illustrated fiction, and it has other terms, but I just write two. It's young fiction and first steps books.
Okay.
That's all, ma'am.
You want to add more or others would also add? You may open.
Others naman po.
Okay, others. You might raise your hand, Jackie. Yeah, Jackie.
So we also have sophisticated picture books, which the contents are more serious than for those kids, and the illustrations are a bit complex. And we also
Yeah.
have books for twins, which the age is more likely 9 to 12, and they don't like too serious yet too childish to read. So it's just a bit the light one. And an example of this could be the comics and magazine.
Okay. Thank you so much for your insights. Okay, so I guess you have got it right. We have 4 topics discussed today. And now I have given you the assignment. I will just provide you the copy of the PowerPoint presentation. I will upload this in your LMS together with the sit work and some activities in the LMS. Okay, so now